Welcome, classmates, teachers, everyone who wants to see my video essay done by me, Shy Mason, and I will be reviewing montages in the film industry. So, what is montage? Some would say it's a combination of clips. Others would say it's a collage of different types of media to span time. The French translation is assembly or setup. All are correct, but do not paint the full picture. There are about 4 different types of montages. You have rhythmic, metric, overtonal, and intellectual. Each type of montage has its use, and we will see that in the next 4 films that I show you. The first film I'm going to show you is Parasite, which gives the perfect example of rhythmic montage, which is the cut of clips based on an action or image, and takes in consideration musical pacing, but it is not like metric montage where there is a cut on every beat. Remember, it's clips based on action, not beat, but it does go along with the musical tone of the film. Now I do need to let y'all get a sense of the rhythmic montage that you see in Parasite. Listen to the musical pacing of it. See the actors move at the speed of the music and how each action is deliberate. To give context about what is happening in Parasite, just know that a family is trying to cause an allergic reaction with a long-term maid in order to get her job, but make it seem that she actually has tuberculosis that is also contagious.
전에 건강검진 받으러 병원에 갔다가요. 집사람한테 카톡 보내려고 셀카를 찍는데 이분이 뒤에 보이더라 말입니다.
어디 통화하고 있는 거네, 지금?
예. 제가 들으려고 들은 게 아니라 제가 들으려고 들은 게 아닌데.
Did you notice that musical pace change and how each character was going along with it?
감정이 너무 막 여기 위에 올라가 있는데 그걸 좀 여기까지 좀 내려보세요.
어쩔 수 없이 들었어요.
이걸 좀 함축시켜가지고 탁.
거듭 말씀드리지만 본의 아니게 그 아주머니께서 굉장히 목소리가 크시더라고요.
아니, 그러니까 괜찮아. 말해봐.
자기가 뭐라나 그 활동성.
Notice the intensity increasing and the musical pacing increasing as well.
그런 느낌?
결핵? 아이, 설마.
진짜 활동성 결핵 판정 받았다고 전화로 누구에게 막 얘기를 하는데.
아니 요즘에도 결핵 환자가 있어요?
아니, 요즘도 결핵 환자가 있어요?
아빠 하기사 옛날에 왜 크리스마스 실 사서 붙이고 막 그런 시절 얘긴데.
근데 검색해보세요. 한국이 현재 결핵 발생률 1위랍니다. OECD 국가들 중에.
보니까 이 아줌마 시침이 뚝 떼고 계속 일을 하시더라고. 아니 집에 다솜이 같은 애도 있는데.
그러니까요. 집에 다송이 같은 어린애도 있는데 결핵 환자가 부엌에서 설거지하고 음식도 만들고 침도 튀기고.
Now this is one of my favorite parts. Notice how everything goes into slow motion along with the music, and the audience doesn't even notice unless you're looking for it.
혹시라도 이걸 쓸 찬스가 있으면 대박이긴 한데.
There's the music getting faster and faster. Now I think that's the perfect example of rhythmic montage. The next type of montage we're going to go over is metric montage, which is a cut on a beat. And an example of this is from La La Land. Metric montage is not unlike rhythmic montage, where it takes into account the musical aspect of the film, except it weighs more heavily on the beats of the film and relies on those beats to cut. That's a beat. Beat, beat, beat. So as you can see with metric montage, every time Mia and Sebastian went on a new date, there was a cut on beat. What we'll go over now is overtonal montage, which is a combination of rhythmic, metric, and tonal montage. Again, rhythmic montage takes into account the musical pacing of a film. Metric takes into account the beats and cuts on certain beats, and tonal is basically taking two shots and having similar emotional tone to both. The perfect example of overtonal montage is from *Inglourious Basterds*, where Shoshana is preparing to kill Nazis. There's two different scenes that have the same emotional tone. One is from Shoshana preparing to kill the Nazis, and the other one is from the night of her killing the Nazis. Remember to pay attention to the musical pace, the cuts on beats, and the two different shots with the same emotional tone.
For 1,000 years, colder than the moon, it's been so long, and I've been putting out fire with gasoline.
When Shoshana puts on her blush, that gives an example of rhythmic as a part of the montage.
Those who feel me near will look lives and change their minds. It's been so long, still this falling night, applying a call, a heartbeat.
Souviens-toi en anglais.
Did you catch that? It was a cut on beat.
Seuls des idiots suicidaires comme nous feraient développer ces images. Puis supposons qu'on arrive à le faire développer, comment obtenir une copie 35 mm avec une bande sonore?
On trouve quelqu'un capable de tirer et développer une copie 35 mm avec la bande sonore. Et on l'oblige à le faire. Et on le bute.
Ramène-moi ça, faut mets-lui la tête sur la table. Soit tu fais ce qu'on te dit de faire, soit je t'enfonce cette hache dans ton crâne de collabo.
C'est pas un collabo!
Marcel, est-ce que sa femme et ses enfants le connaissent? Alors une fois qu'on aura buté ce clébard à la botte des Allemands, on ira les faire taire une bonne fois pour toutes.
The intense emotional tone in this scene matches the emotional tone of Shoshana getting ready the night of the Nazi party.
So blue, an ageless heart that can never mend, whose tears can never dry. Judgment made can
As you saw, this is the perfect example of overtonal montage. Basically, 3 montages in one. You have rhythmic, where there was a musical pacing to the whole montage. Then you have the cuts on beats that we saw. And then you have the 2 different scenes that give the same emotional feeling to it. Lastly, but certainly not least, is intellectual montage. This is where you edit shots together and connect them to an intellectual concept. For example, if I wanted to show grief, I would have 2 different shots. One of a person crying and another of some dreary weather. Both put together into a montage would really elevate the feeling of grief. So I will be showing intellectual montage through a scene in my favorite movie, V for Vendetta. This will show different scenes across the movie all in one to really explain the rebellion of the people when they had their last straw. So it coincides with the dominoes falling, which really gives way to the intellectual concept of rebellion. Please take a look.
With so much chaos, someone will do something stupid. And when they do, things will turn nasty.
Rioters were arrested in Brixton.
And then Sutler will be forced to do the only thing he knows how to do. At which point, all V needs to do is keep his word. And then...
The dominoes falling and the riots both represent a society that is falling. V for Vendetta is always a classic and does a great job of summarizing intellectual montage. Now, let's do a recap of everything we learned today. We went over rhythmic, metric, overtonal, and intellectual. Rhythmic is the musical tone. Metric is cutting on the beat. Overtonal is both rhythmic and metric and also conveying a similar emotional tone throughout the montage, different shots. And finally, intellectual was doing an intellectual concept between shots, making it more powerful by combining those shots. Thank you for watching my video essay about montages. I hope that you appreciate the different types of montages that you see in future films and that you can incorporate them in your own films. Have a great day.
I hate goodbyes.
Lloyd.
Shh.